All right, I have come back, folks, and hopefully we'll be able to add some people back in as we move forward. I just had to restart the stream. I don't know what happened. It's the first time, I think, in the history of using Ecamm that I've had to do that. But I will do it. I will do it. I think we did lose one on the bourbon blend one time. I don't understand why it does that. And by the way, before all the jokes about Wi-Fi, I'm not on Wi-Fi. I'm on a hardline. I would never do Wi-Fi. All right, we back, guys. Awesome to have you guys. Thanks for sticking with me. I don't know what happened. I have absolutely no idea. I've got a lot of people in my house, and they're all probably using the internet, screwing me up, but I'm not going to get mad about it because it's just the holidays, and that's what people do. 2 shots for JPP. Finally hits the second one. Cassidy P is so fired up because he says... Splash. Or was it Dylan? No, that wasn't Dylan. I ain't scared of tech issues. You're all right, Top Pocket. I've been through it. Although I don't expect to have them anymore. Dadgummit. But I don't know. Auburn, again, just kind of working them right now. Dylan's, oh, my God, another no-look pass. Dylan flushes it. Chad Baker, lasagna with the pass. Man, the passing has been insane. And you get the... drop. Man, 39-19. This is similar to what was going on last night, dude, where Auburn just kind of busted him in the mouth, and they had a lot of trouble getting that stuff going again. Unlike us on this stream, Chip gives it a filthy. Decatur Tiger says, oh, what a dime. It was lovely and delicious. There's no doubt about that. Let's get some hot and fresh stats up. Even without number 19. I don't know what we're going to do for the Iron Bowl. I don't know if 19 is going to be over here because I'm not sure we even have room for him here. For the Iron Bowl, it's when everybody's going to be here. I don't know if we'll have anywhere for him to sit. All right. Hot and fresh stats coming up right now. Presented by Krispy Kreme. Just kidding, not really. I mean, that'd be cool, though. I'd like to have a corporate sponsor. I probably cuss too much and drink too much for that on the show. Cassidy P with the first shout out, first I should say super chat of our new stream. Thank you, sir. Says we're back. Super chat. Small Victory says totally selfless on Dylan's part. Doesn't even entertain a putback. He just kept giving it back to JPP because that's the kind of guy he is, right? Stoop Up says, can I watch the Iron Bowl at your house, Jay? You could. But may you? I don't think so. I don't think you would like it because there'd be too many people here. I've got my brother-in-law, and I don't know if she's my sister-in-law, his new wife. I always feel weird to say new wife with him because his wife died. That was my wife's sister. I mean, they didn't get divorced. And then he remarried, and we love Pam, too. So I guess she's my sister-in-law, I guess. I don't know. She's awesome, though. I like her. And then they'll be here. My daughter and her boyfriend will be here. And then our homies from D.C., which is a 5-man band, plus us, the Tates, and Maverick, and Hirsch. So it'll be kind of full. But we like it. Justin says this team is pretty good. There's no doubt. Very, very good team, this Auburn team. Just so much depth. And the crazy thing is, you're not even playing Turtle and Kai right now. Like, there's more depth. Like, they literally just don't have, like, minutes. And I bet Kai's, well, I don't know if Kai's kicking himself, but maybe a future Kai will be kicking himself for causing that scene on the plane, and now he doesn't get to play when he should be in this rotation one way or another. Alamo Tiger Grad, damn right I did. I left it up for the last show, and then I still had it on the screen earlier. When we started this show. So, yeah, I did see it, and thank you very much for that, G. I appreciate that. I know you're coming to me live from the basement, and just be careful down there. Travis J., my man, what's up? It says it's an everything school. It is. It's equestrian and men's basketball. So get you some of that. Oh, and men's golf, too. There's no doubt. UCF's pretty good, too. Not in football. All right, we got about 5 minutes left in this half. Auburn's up 20. They've scored 19. So things are going well. And the statistical markers that I felt strongly about coming in, Tyrese Hunter is 0 for 3 from the floor. P.J. Haggerty is 2 of 3 from the line. I think that was more of a foul on Dylan. It looked that way rather than it actually being a foul. But it's you have to think about the optics for these refs and what it looks like. And, when you're reaching in behind somebody like that, they want to call a foul on you. Melee with a great point. He's not being a downer about it. He's just being real. He says it's a long season, though. It is a long season. There's going to be time. We're watching Auburn playing some really good basketball here, but there's going to be periods during this 30 or 35 game season where it's going to be ass and people are going to lose their mind and say that BP's lost his edge or something like that. You know how reactive things get on the bunker. But you just have to think back to Maui and think, yeah, they got it in them. And this is without Kai and Turtle, who, to be fair, are not like A players on this team. They're B players, but Kai has a lot. He has a lot of upside. But that don't matter right now because Auburn's got a lot of. Oh, that's a travel. How is that not a travel? I don't know. Going Auburn's way, I think. Small Victory says, imagine driving the lane and having Brew and Cardwell escorting you. And there were guards trying to do that last night for North Carolina. Remember, they kept driving, and they were about to get their shit packed in, and they just kept kind of going further and further down, hoping that they would finally find some space. And then they found themselves against the baseline, and then they either went out of bounds or they just helplessly threw the ball up, like in a panic state. It happened 5 times, I bet, in the second half. It's like getting cul-de-saced really bad, By the way, that's not French for a sex move. That's just called a cul-de-sac. I think it means end of the sack. Which is right off, actually, the cul-de-sac, the street next to it is called Perineum. Perineum Alley, I think, or maybe. No, Perineum Street. Yeah. All right, little panicky move there to get trapped in the corner. And then Chad Baker, lasagna, with a foul for no reason. I'm sure he's frustrated. Auburn doesn't make that mistake very often. JPP getting trapped in the corner. Can't do that. Hey, man, I understand you kind of make yourself available for the foul there, but he literally backed into Chad. Shit, man. I mean, he literally initiated contact with him by going 180 degrees different direction from the way he was going, but that's the way it goes sometimes. And that's the dude I was saying he gets to the line a lot. There's a reason he's shot almost 60 free throws this year. He knows the art of drawing the foul. It's a dark art. Oh, perfectly in rhythm in Denver. I wonder if Penny says, hey, guys, so that number 2 guy, you don't want him shooting in rhythm. Like, seriously. Really nice shot from P.J. Haggerty right there. He's balling up here right now. He's been playing some good ball. 13 points for him. He's really carrying his team. But more so from field goal shooting than at the line. Oh. I was thinking and one on that one. Janai is killing him. That is just some individual ass kicking right there. I like that he eschewed the 3 to drive to the hole. He missed it, got the rebound, missed the putback, then got another rebound and got fouled. This is just another team that cannot deal with him. And his positioning is just keen, man. He's like, damn it, that's 3 shots I missed in a row. Cassidy P jumps in with a super chat, says the 2 big lineup in my immediate reaction was no. But it's got kind of a yesy aftertaste. Yesy. This beer is actually somewhat yesy, sir. yeah, I don't know how I feel about it yet. They've had a hard time getting together and blending it. Now, Henri had a really good piece, I think, on the front of AuburnSports.com maybe 2 days ago with a lot of GIFs or GIFs, depending on how you call it, explaining kind of how they're using the two big guys. And, yeah, it's yielding some stuff. That was a nice pump fake by number 4 again, but didn't get the shot to go. Look at Dahad pushing the tempo. I agree with that being a jump. I think that's good. I agree with that. Sean says, crazy that this Memphis team beat UConn. I think we played the second best team in this tournament on Monday night. Talking about the Iowa State Cyclones, who I thought were really good, yeah. Needed some heroics from Janai to win that game. Although you could argue that Janai had some heroics in the North Carolina game too, just kind of over and over again, right? Just kind of his baseline performance. Heating up a little bit there. Haggerty's eating him up right now. There's a good opportunity right now to slow it down, I think, and try to craft it for a nice shot. You got about a minute left. And wow, they are really pushing that screen out, aren't they? That's exactly what you do when they push out on screens. You slide in under them because it creates a vacuum defensively, and you just get it done. Great work right there for Janai to identify what was going on when they had 3 people above the screen, and he knew somebody would be open in that part of the court, and it was Dylan. Great effort there from Dahad to slow down to stem that drive from number 3. And I guess they're going to call a foul on him for that, but I still think that's terrific defense. He did exactly what he's coached to do. He disrupted the drive. He built a wall. And I didn't think he fouled him, but I personally think Steven ought to calm his dad down a little bit more sometimes. I think sometimes he throws grease on the fire as almost like a second voice. Yeah, see, that to me, that's a push-off. That's number 3 using that arm to push him back, where Pettiford is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. I'm with BP on this one. Steven. You know what's funny about Steven is he's so animated in these games, but like if you know him, like he's a very calm individual. Like you almost think he's asleep sometimes. Not actually asleep, but you know what I mean. He's just super calm. I guess Will Muschamp's that way too, you know. Small victories saw Burgo being big mad on the screen too. I didn't see Burgo specifically. I'm guessing that's a technical on BP then for dissent, because I mean what Dahad did was not worth a technical. You see what it says on the bench technical. Okay. For dissent. Wow, it's Coach Sonny loved to talk about, what you want and what you don't want is points with the clock stopped. And this is essentially going to be 4 points with the clock stopped for Memphis. That's a great way to get back in a game. They're still down 14, though. I think Auburn needs just a good, solid possession here. That is not it's turned solid when Chad Bacon Lasagna got a ball back, or was that? It was actually Dylan, wasn't it? According to the stats, Daniel P. was on the bench. I mean, if you heard differently on the floor or whatever, I would supersede what I'm telling you. But That was a lot of herking and jerking to get that ball right there. All right, halftime. 47-31 Auburn Tigers. A really, all in all, terrific half of basketball for Auburn. Really nice. Let's get these stats up. Get some hot, fresh stats. Get those hot stats. Oh, yeah. We'll go through and grade them up here at halftime. As soon as we get our data points set up in front of us here. The data that Rice would love so much because he could use it to either augment his position or take it down, just depending on whatever stats he wanted to use. 47-31 again. P.J. Haggerty going off for them, carrying his team 15 points, damn near half of their point total. Janai Broome, 15 and 11 in the half with 5 assists and no turnovers. This guy is just like, he's just playing at a level that I don't know as we've seen at Auburn since Barkley and Chuck Person, honestly. I mean, even Porter, he had some good games, but God bless, man. I mean, this is like a regional final type, when you're playing Iowa State, North Carolina, and a hot Memphis team back-to-back-to-back. I mean, this is really like a regional final type feeling every night, and he's rising to the occasion and getting double-doubles every half. Talking about Janai Broome. Other statistical markers, let's see, things I talked about before. P.J. Haggerty, got to keep him off the line. They have kept him off the line for the most part, but he's been hitting some shots, too, from mid-range for the most part. He has been a factor for sure. The other thing I talked about was Tyrese Hunter. They were very concerned about his shooting, and he's 0 for 3 with 0 points. So that is definitely a big W right there. Fast break, Auburn is, I guess, losing that 4-0, but they're happy. They're fine with that. They just didn't want Memphis to be in double digits there. Points off turnovers, Auburn's up 14-5, which is terrific. And their points per possession for the half was 1.56, which is elite. A terrific half on the attacking end for sure. 18 of 35 from the floor. 6 of 17 from 3 is not awesome, but not terrible. 5 of 6 to the line is fine. Auburn is just not a huge free throw line team because really aside from Tahad and I guess Denver, there's not a whole lot of driving going on. Got a lot of jump shooting. I mean, and most of Broome's free throws are from second effort or whatever. Auburn's kind of a jump shooting team, honestly, and they don't draw a lot of fouls. That's just not really part of their game. I'm trying to see total fouls called on Memphis, only 3 for the half, and Auburn 7. Oh, I take it back, 6 versus 7. 3 assists and 7 turnovers for Memphis. I know Penny's not going to be happy about that. 3 assists on 11 buckets. This is what Auburn does. It's just 3 or 4 straight games now where the opponent just doesn't get a lot of assists. They have difficulty distributing the ball around because of Auburn's length and quickness on defense, and really a big part of that is, they are long, but they're experienced, so their positioning's terrific, and they're deep, and they're still guys. Those of you who maybe don't watch Auburn every single week, there's still 2 guys who are contributors that aren't playing because they're like de facto suspended. They're not actually suspended, but they're not playing because of punishment. And they would be even deeper. And for folks, again, that don't watch Auburn a lot, maybe you're on the stream, one of the big criticisms for all of us about BP is that he plays too many players, right? Usually you want to see him like kind of narrow down his minutes a little bit. He's always been a big believer in playing a lot of guys because he feels like giving more people an opportunity to thrive gives you more opportunities for people stepping up in big moments later on down the road, right? If you're playing 10 and every night you go out there, you got 10 guys who have had an opportunity to get consistent and confident with their playing time, and someday down the road you're playing at Ole Miss and maybe it's Chris Moore's night, or it's Kai's night to just blow up and have 17, 20 points. Devin Cambridge has done stuff like that before. You just keep playing him. You get your chance. Let's see. Bo asks, could our lack of driving right now be a possible problem in the future if our shooting behind the line goes cold? Yeah, in theory, that would definitely be true. I do think that Auburn can convert into doing some driving. I mean, Chad's a good driver. I think he's probably their best driver, even though he doesn't necessarily do a ton of it. Miles is just a jump shooter. Denver's been doing some driving, although, again, when he signed, he was a jump shooter. That's what I thought he was. That's what they thought he was. But he's done some driving, and then Tahad is kind of like everything. I mean, he can drive. He can spot shoot. His passing is extremely creative. His vision's amazing. It's not a surprise that he idolized, or still idolizes, presumably, Sharif Cooper. They share a lot in common. Not a hometown, but body type, skills, effect on the game. If you remember that, was it the COVID season or was it the year after that when Sharif was like the only game in town? And, man, there were some days when he was insane and there were some days when he was absolute dog shit. And, like, there was nothing in the middle with him, you know. But he kind of had to carry that team, and that's not where Tahad is. Here he's got a lot of dudes around him. Great question from Anonymous. Wants to know how much better this ball club will be when Turtle and Ja'Kai Howard come back. I mean, I don't know the answer to that question. A Turtle is, to me, just kind of a depth piece, right? Who can play 4 or 5. He does have some range. I don't know. How would that affect it? I think it would. I don't know how he really fits in right now. I mean, that way Janai wouldn't have to play 35 a night or whatever it was. And I think he's okay rebounding, and defensively he's solid, but obviously he's no Janai on the scoring end. So I don't know, man. I think he may end up being like a 7 or 8 minute a night guy. I really like Ja'Kai, but this is probably the best thing for him to get in trouble like this. And I hope that his time with Jeremy and understanding the impacts of his actions help him mature a little bit. Kids grow and mature at different paces, at different levels. It's not a one-size-fits-all. You know, some kids like Mustafa Heron show up on campus as true freshmen and they're the most mature guy on the team. Other guys need 2 or 3 years to get there, and it doesn't mean anyone's better or worse than the other guy. It's just humans, and we mature and grow at different speeds. You know, Ja'Kai's a little behind some of the other guys as far as maturing, but that doesn't mean he's going to always be this way, and it doesn't mean he's a bad guy now. He just needs to get his emotions under control a little bit better. That's what I would say about that. Watching the highlights from Gonzaga losing to West Virginia, LOL. That's a hell of a closeout, but a really nice shot, dude. Jeez. Uh-oh. I kind of like the way that this court is laid out, where it's like really bright on the court and then it's like different colors up in the stands, but it's dark. That's pretty sweet. Let's see. Christopher B says, Turtle feels like a Chris Moore signing. Added depth, but can't be expected to score. You know, that's actually, I kind of think of it that way. Yeah. And Turtle is a good team guy, I think. You know, I know he's kind of in the doghouse a little bit right now, but just my opinion. I think he did the right thing, but he's a better scorer than Simo, though. Because, I mean, I've seen in the summertime when they were scrimmaging and stuff, Turtle can hit some shots. He's actually a pretty good mid-range shooter. I wouldn't really say that about Chris Moore. Chris Moore has a weird shot. So I think Turtle can give you something a little bit more than Chris Moore, but I do think that's fair. Yeah. Let's see. Chip says those 2 Bammer guards screwed up by leaving, i.e. not coming to Auburn. Wish had Phillip instead of JPP. Holloway just needed to bide his time and develop. He would have been an important piece too. F those guys. Yeah, I just think I think it was time for him to go, and then he also thought it was time to go. So that's good. I honestly didn't expect him to be at Alabama. And I think that's a weird place to go when you're going to play behind Mark Sears. And Mark Sears is another interesting case where I think Auburn could have gotten him, maybe. Auburn definitely could have been in a finalist for Mark Sears. And I just think that was a mistake. Mountain of Coke, what's up, brother? I miss seeing you here on the stream. You used to have like the coolest, it worked perfectly with your name. It looked like Cubert was your avatar. He says, Bruce has been yelling all week. I hope his voice holds up. He'll be on the radio after the game going, guys, I don't know, man. What a great performance. Sorry about my voice. Melee says, Chip. Now do one in English. Come on, Chip. That's funny. You know that. Let's see. Solo Tigre says, I think the bunker takes the SEMO slander way too far. He does a lot of things at an above average level, even if he's not elite at anything. I believe his hustle rubs off on the rest of the team. He is definitely a good element in the clubhouse, and as one of my favorite coaches once told me, I can't have 12 assholes on the team. I got to have some good kids too. And SEMO would definitely count as a good kid. Yeah. I think he's a good mentor for Jakai, if Jakai is willing to listen. Ravince is finally able to get back in. YouTube sucks. You know who else sucks? This guy, because I was running the stream and it went dead, and I don't really know. I can't blame that on YouTube. Again, when it was going dead and I could see you guys chatting that things weren't going well, my stream shows good health and everything looks fine, so I didn't know what was going on. I'm sorry for that. I think that's probably on my end somehow or another, but appreciate you coming back over, Ravin. And I do think the SEMO slander goes a little far. I mean, he is what he is. I don't understand why people – I don't think that basketball people, honestly, and Solo Tigre you would count in that group, I don't think people in the basketball circles would care what a 10th man does. You know what I mean? Like, if there's a 9th or 10th guy who, like, gives you some hustle and grabs some rebounds and doesn't do anything stupid with the ball, like, that's good. That's good enough, right? Mountain of Coke says, LOL, yeah, I forgot my email address and password for the bunker, so I disappeared for a while. Typical for a Coke Mountain. Absolutely love that avatar. That was perfect for your handle. That's good. Glad to see you, man. Thanks for coming back over. Watching this game between the Auburn Tigers and the Memphis Tigers. This is a very meaningful game, I'm sure, for my friend Chuck Alina, the former publicist for Auburn's men's basketball for years and years and years, with Cliff and Lebo and Tony Barbie, who he worked at Memphis after he graduated from Auburn many years ago, and now he went back and worked at Memphis some more and lives in Memphis now. So I'm sure he's conflicted on this, and I've not spoken to him about it. Unfortunately, his outstanding and awesome mom just passed away. So, yeah. Anonymous says SEMO is the Jake Holland of basketball. The problem, well, there is some similarities there. Both are really good guys, and both are really smart guys. But Jake Holland played like all the time, right? And SEMO is just like a peripheral player. I don't think anybody would have cared if Jake Holland played as often as Griffin Speaks, you know? But it was the fact that he was playing like, 80% of defensive snaps, and he was in a Tampa 2, and he couldn't run. Like, that's a little bit of a problem. Randy wants to know, how do you think Chuck feels about this Auburn team? My guess is he's pretty damn fired up about it, honestly. But maybe he likes it a little bit less because Coach Sonny is not the color commentator. There he is. Desperado. He says, what up, brother? Formerly Scott, last name redacted. Glad to have you. Desperado says, what happened to Miles Kelly? Miles Kelly is a guy who just kind of shows up and blows up, and then he's gone, right? Like, so the first half he played a bunch of minutes. Well, not that many, 7 minutes. Seemed like he was in there more than that and really wasn't a factor in the game, but if he comes in the second half, watch him score like 8 points in 5 minutes, and all of a sudden we'll say, it's Miles Kelly again. Runner 24 says, poor Jake Holland. Talk about a mismatched talent versus what he was asked to do to play. That's perfectly stated. And to me, that's not a Jake Holland problem. That's a Gene Chizik problem, right? Because Jake is, and always is just a good dude. Comes from a good family. He's a good guy. Like, I bet he's out there kicking ass, like, way beyond what I'll ever do. Yeah, Desperado, he did play. He played. I mean, he started, in fact, talking about Miles Kelly, but just really didn't have much of an effect. And then, I don't know, some of the other things. Do you, like you said, being slow didn't help, AU Taxman? Yeah, that was the thing. Tampa 2, he was expected to bail out and, like, get a lot of depth in that particular defensive scheme. And, I mean, he wasn't a backpedal guy. He wasn't a fast guy. It was just kind of like your, traditional middle linebacker. And I thought he was tough. And when he was a recruit, remember, he was a 3-star, and people were clamoring for Rivals to bump him up to 4, and then they did, and everybody was happy. And then 2 years later, when he wasn't playing well, they were said, Jesus, I can't believe Rivals bumped him up all the way to a 4-star. It's just like, you cut me and then you blame me for bleeding, right? Cassidy P says, last year we lacked 3-point shooters and slashers who could finish at the rim. Bruce's offseason early return seems strong. Excited to see this non-conference slate kind of build. Wow, I like that outfit. I don't see any evidence of her wearing a bra, guys. I mean, this could be an optical illusion. I don't know. Maybe this is like CGI. Like Industrial Light and Magic having at it here, but wow. How about it? Randy P says, I went to school with Chris Porter in Abbeville is what he meant to say. Dude was a dog. He sure was a dog. We saw him not too long ago when they had the reunion, I guess they had. And a lot of those guys, I mean, Doc was there, and I talked to him and Charlton Parker. I just know him as Charlton. He was there as well. Oh, and Scotty Pullman. I saw Scotty Pullman, too. Did not see Abe, but Abe may have been there. Cassidy P says, hookah luka hoi poi right there. I love it when War Eagle Girl on the bunker uses the phrase hoi polloi. One of my favorite weird idioms in the English language. Hoi polloi means like just like working class people, the proletariat. Love using that word. That's not the word you used. I don't know why I'm bringing it up, but it sounded like it, and that's close enough. Oh, nice feed. And the pump fake is what differentiates Dylan Sr. from Dylan Sophomore. It's just what I call being an operator and understanding how to play the game. Really nice, thoughtful play right there. Thought they might have gotten a steal on that, on pressing that inbound pass, Memphis, but didn't actually happen. Did good defense there. Oh, is he faking a head injury here? He did get he got his arm up a little high, though, to be fair. See, to me, that's a flop. He probably hates soccer because they flop too much, and this kid right there flopping, man. Melee says not a pump fake. It's literally Dylan dancing. Dancing for money. Do what you want me to do. He's a little far out on this defensive situation there. Another good rebound from Janai. All right. I don't think we've seen a Memphis deviate from just kind of its man-on-man concept. Oh, they're going to call it bullshit. He flopped again. It's all this. Like, what are you doing, bro? You're lucky your head's still attached to your body after that. He went shoulder to shoulder, and the guy acted like he got hit in the head. Like, what are you doing? I'm with you, Daniel. I don't think that was right. I don't think it was right. Whoa, that was neat. Long three-point shot for Memphis. A very, very high arcing shot. Parabolic, some would say. And he hits it. And I like the way he kind of hopped after he shot it, too, because he thought it needed a little extra English to get in there. You know what I mean? We got Simo in the game. Dylan better get out of that lane. And he did. Miles Kelly just sitting over there in the corner going, guys, I'm right here. Dish, 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 dish. There it is. I don't know about dishing to Dylan for a three, but he hit it. Oh, my goodness. I was like, don't pass it to Dylan on the 3-point line. Oh, wait. There's the point. Oh, they're going to say it's a 2. Okay. Had to deduct 1 point there. Sorry, guys. Got a little excited. Well, he looked like he's behind the line to me. Ref says 2, though. I defer to him. No. Well, I take that back. They went ahead and gave him the 3. No, they did not. Now they've gone back to 2. You guys are messing me up. Pick one and just go with it. Wonder if they're trying to figure it out. Like, hey, guys, one guy signaled 2, one guy signaled 3. Oh, I like that Memphis State jersey back there. Now, that's some old school shiz right there. I like that. I guess you're going to review this shot. This should be really easy to figure out. The word I should use there is adjudicate. Yeah, Casa DP, they did it both ways. I mean, let's pick one and let's go. Come on now. We don't need all this. Coach Penny. The most trusted man in all basketball. Austin M says, I said something nice about the refs earlier. I take it all back. Boo this man. Boo this man. I'm just kidding, Austin. I did too. They're just, they're checking the clock. Yes, it's like when you tell your wife, I need to go see a man. I need to go see my friend. You're actually going to sneak over to the bar and have a couple. Talk about the Thunder. Wait a minute. That's suspiciously specific. I better be careful. My wife might be watching this stream. Miles Kelly, here it is. He passed it. Oh, Janai's going to try to back him down from 19. Here we go. What are they calling here? A travel? Guys, I'm not sure about that one either. No, that's fair. It's fair. That's fair. I thought there was some collisioning there, but I don't think it was significant enough to get the foul called, so that's my view on that. Chip says he likes Memphis's uniforms as long as they're losing. Oh, he banked one in, man. Jeez. Another parabolic three-pointer. They're about to hit the top of the gym. About to hit the roof. Oh, now see, there's one where they kind of called the flop. They called him for drawing a foul on defense. I like that. Number 4. I'm sure he's mad, too. He's salty. Small victories. I was noticing that specifically with Miles. I feel like Miles is not moving well enough without the ball. And he just kind of, like, gets into Scotty's corner and just wants to kind of hang there. Okay, this is not good. Oh, that is terrific, actually. I thought Janai was going to get pinned on the baseline, and no. He sees Chris Moore darting to the bucket, and he says, here you go. Have at it, sir. Great play. Every time you question Janai, let me rephrase that. Every time I question Janai, he does something. Look at Chris Moore with the steal right there. And he nutmegged himself to get the ball back. It was nice. I don't like that shot from Denver. But you know what it did? Splash. 56. Just when you start thinking, Memphis is starting to kind of crawl back in this. I want to score 5, 6, 7, 8 on you real fast. Of course, Memphis just did a nice job there. Is that the same dude getting hit again? I wonder if it's that same guy that got kicked in the face the other day. Just got rolled up on again. Janai seemed a little frustrated. He's very frustrated. Well, Let's see. Sean B says, is a broom triple double out of the question? It's never out of the question. Every time I say he can't do it, then he'll come. Mike Krzyzewski, get him off my screen, please. He's retired. You should not subject us to that. Let's see. Janai, I'll put the stats up here in a second. 15, 13, and he's got 6 assists plus 3 blocks. Yeah, I think he'd get a triple-double if he paid attention. I mean, he's leading the team in assists. It might have to be something where you discuss it with him if you get up big enough and say, hey, man, let's see if you get some assists here, G. He's such a good passer, so vision-y in the post. He doesn't make many lazy passes or doesn't get picked off very much. He does run into some cul-de-sacs every now and then, but he's so long and smart with the ball that he can figure a way to get out of it. There's some hot and ready, fresh stats provided by Krispy Kreme. I'm just kidding. They're not actually, but you know what I mean. Usually I do second half stats here. I can only see shooting for the second half. They're Auburn is 4 of 4 from the floor. We can write a song about it. 4 on the floor. 100% shooting for this half. Not bad. They're 4 of 6. That's not bad. 2 of 2 from 3. For them, that's not bad. Auburn is infinite from 3, meaning they didn't shoot any. Rebounding is absolutely ridiculous. 24-11 for the Auburn Tigers. They have 11 rebounds, Memphis does. Good golly. 4 assists and 8 turnovers is definitely not where they want to be. And this team reminds me of a very guard-oriented type team, really. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3 that are playing the most of the ball here. And then Auburn has 16 assists and 7 turnovers. 16 assists on 22 buckets, I might add. And points per possession is still just barely under 1.5, which is outstanding. It's going fine. Cassidy P says, did anyone know Krzyzewski is Spanish for douchebag? I'll tell you what, if I ever got in a dark alley with that guy, I would be like, come here, buddy, I hate you. I hate you. Janai's open on the Cam Coleman. Oh, but he's got hands like Robert. Miles Kelly says, I can play defense too. Hey, guys, just run a route just for fun on TV. We'll show it. Let's see. Cardwell, you mentioned Cardwell with assists, small victories. I didn't even check that out. Yeah, Dylan's got 3 assists and 1 turnover. Not bad. But Janai, 6 assists and 1 turnover. It's like he's a point guard out there. Chip says this team needs an NIL deal with Astroglide. Don't let AU go. Well, we got to think of a little. We can build on that. I can't think of it right now. We got to do some kind of a wet dry thing, like don't be a square. I don't know. I got to be careful because if I just spit lyrics off the tip of my tongue, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Krzyzewski, get off my TV, please. And I hope Affleck fires him. He's ruining Don Staley's image. It was actually a nice bailout on Simo to get himself straight after that near Chris Webber travel. Oh, Cheney says no, you shan't. No, you shan't. What an amazing block on transition right there off a really nice cross-court pass, but you got to have a better idea getting to the hole if Cheney's ready for you. Good golly, Miss Molly. I think that was a foul, but okay. Janai's had a couple of those like little lunge moves. I'm not sure what that is. It just has a weird look about it, and I'm not sure it's legal. Or at least it's panicky if it's not legal. They got downhill a little bit, but Janai. This thing, Auburn's not doing a great job necessarily of getting in front and building a wall on the guards, but the backside rim protectors have been very alert this whole tournament. And that's worth something. They're going to call that the play of the game, and I don't disagree. I like that pass, too, and I don't know what that guy was thinking. Did he just think he was clear sailing? He's like, I got this thing. And, I mean, what was he going to do? I guess he thought maybe he was going to dunk it. Then he realized he wasn't going to have space to dunk it. Then he was just going to kind of bounce it, and then he just got stuffed and embarrassed. And now his girlfriend's left him, and she may let her new boyfriend drive his scat pack. I hate to be the one to tell him, but I will do it if I have to. All right, so Melee says that they have gone back and adjudicated the earlier 3 to give Dylan a 3 on that, but I have not seen it reflected on the score on ESPN. Let me see if it's on the stats, though. Flush City.
Drop.
Well, that was nice. Like double turnaround there. It's like doing some Janai business on Janai. All right. Let's see some cutters here. Let's see Chris Mo cut in from that. Okay, never mind. Got fouled. Anonymous believes that this may be a danger zone situation. Auburn up 15 with 13 to go. For me, not quite enough yet. Outstanding dish from Tahad there. Beautifully done, as Coach Randall would say. He always finds time to get in there, and then it's beautifully done. Damon says, I hate how refs just make up calls. Occasionally. I think it's based on what they think they're going to see instead of what they actually see. And I got to give them credit. I mean, these guys have probably officiated, 500 or 1,000 games. Maybe they've just seen it so many times they assume, Now, that was dog shit transition defense right there. Nobody picked up the ball. Nobody even had their eyes toward the ball. I think everybody was shocked that Janai had missed a short little bunny with his left hand. He don't do that very often. Oh, what a play, dude. Tahad said, here's my big old balls. What are you going to do about it, homie? And the answer was nada. Nothing. There's just no stopping your ball. Oh, my goodness. That's like some Dr. J shit right there. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. That's poetry in motion. Oh, that is just. Oh, man. Got somebody to towel after that one. My God, that was amazing. Getting hot under the collar here. Chip just puts the money bag in there. I like that. Whale driver's blown away. And he hits the free throw, of course, too, to get him to 61. Wow. That's going to take me a minute to get over that play. Fresh boy, my man, I didn't even know you were here. Glad to have you, bro. He was blown away, too. Says, War F and Eagle after that one. That looks good. Oh, is he going to do something else? No, he's not. Little Euro step action looked awkward as hell for the Memphis guy. All right, 12 minutes to go. Oh, another parabolic 3, man. Jeez. A Rene Descartes would be a fan, big-time fan of the way that Memphis has been shooting these threes. Hope you guys get that joke. My dad would love me telling a joke like that. By the way, Renee's not a girl. He just had long hair. Oh, look at that one. Another amazing take from Chad Bacon Lasagna. He has the weirdest angles. I don't understand what he's doing half the time. He's leaning. He's twisted the wrong way, and he just puts the ball in. And you know who he reminds me of doing that shit is Samir. Samir learned how to play basketball on the playgrounds of Philadelphia, and he did so many weird things with the ball that made him effective. I'm talking about Samir Dowdy. Played at Auburn back maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And Chad is the same way. He learned the game from playing it outdoors, and you notice it a lot because of the weird way he approaches the bucket sometimes. But, man, he can actually put it in because he's done this so many times, So many times. I'm going to come at you like a spider monkey. I'm going to have to get that set sound. Oh, that'd be just for you, small victories. Spider monkey. We'll get that one for you. D Lucky's fired up too. Fresh Boy in the Hizzle. Fresh Boy says guard play is way better from years past, man. It sure is. Just when you say guard play, it's really just everything, right? But like they've had decent ball handling in the past, but now they have like shooting and creativity and just like first step and second step quickness that they were lacking with Wen. I thought Wen had big balls and he was willing to be the man, but he wasn't awesome, right? And so now they got more collaboration, I guess, at that position, and I think the guys are actually better. Damon says CBM as a kid absolutely was out in the yard throwing up shit because he was bored. I mean, it's exactly right. That's exactly right. John talking about George Gervin being the master of the strange angle. Yeah, that's another one. Just a teeny bit before my time. The Iceman played for the Spurs. I think he was playing maybe when I first started watching the NBA in 83-ish. Might have still been like the old guy. I think I remember Dan Issel playing when I first started too. Speaking of old. Small Victory says his arms are wild. He's wiry. He is, man. And if he ever misses the team playing, they can fax him. He's so thin. Unbelievable. Well, Jarvis says Pettiford is an NBA player. We're going to find out. He is definitely a little on the short side. And if you're going to be short, you're going to have to be really, really effective like Dame Lillard or something like that, because I think people would prefer to have. I mean, there's a reason Josh Giddey, of all people, was a first-round pick, right? He's 6'6", 6'7", and he does not have the same skills that Todd Pettiford does, but he has the size, and that's what attracts people. So he's always going to be going up against it. Gervin, Not a Mouse says absolutely. George Gervin, the Iceman, absolute stud, man. Cassidy P says he's got a Dan Issel Maker's Mark bottle. I did not know there was such a thing. That's amazing. A Taxman says I need that old Gervin poster with the throne and the basketballs. Absolutely. I know the exact one you're talking about. Yeah, that's good stuff. That and a Samantha Fox poster and then maybe Cheryl Teague's with the nipples, and then we're goody. Daniel P says Giddy skews young too. That guy knows his NBA. I like it. He does skew a little younger, but not like not terribly younger. I think he was like maybe 20 and she was like 17. That's not too bad. I mean, shit, my wife's a year and a half younger than me. At one point, that might have been a problem. I don't know. Probably not now. Chad Bacon Lasagna goes to the line and hits the first one. All right. No, he finished off his three-pointer. My bad. As they would say, as mediocre radio analysts would say, an old-fashioned three-pointer or a three-pointer the old way. Terrible way to describe it. Another difficult but ultimately satisfying defensive rebound from Janai Broom, who's been, again, playing his balls off. And a Cassidy P brings it home by saying George Gervin was in the Little Penny commercials back in the 90s. I did not know that. Runner 24 says, missed the Heather Thomas poster. I did. It missed me. I definitely had Samantha Fox that I got at the State Fair. I definitely had Cheryl Teague's. I definitely had, believe it or not, I had Bernie Kosar. Why? I don't know. I wasn't even a huge fan of his. It was a Sports Illustrated thing. Back in those days, like if you subscribed to Sports Illustrated, they'd give you like a poster and like some other, like a radio or something. And this was definitely Chip Chip. You said when I was 8. Yeah, it was right in that range. This would have been like 82. I was still in San Diego, and I just remember being in that house. I mean, I was living in Chargers country. I had a Bernie Kosar poster on my wall. I think it's just because it's free, It's the right price. 3-pointer the hard way, Anonymous. That's a little bit better. Ooh, Whale Driver had a Barry Sanders poster. God, that guy. So I liked the Packers back then because my dad brainwashed me when I was a kid to like the Packers. And Barry Sanders was the Lions were always playing the Packers. Oh, he's so good. I got to meet him when his son visited Auburn. It was back maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Oh, I was in awe. Nice little hook shot there for Memphis. 50-66 is where we're at. Need to update this real quick. I think Auburn would benefit from another 3-pointer right here. Or a turnover. That's a foul for sure on Janai. Transition defense not great. Not sure why our chat pooped out right there. Not sure. It's still popping over here on YouTube. Let's see. Daniel P says, as a kid, I had a poster with Glavin, Maddox, Smoltz, Denny Nagel, and Britney Spears, like all as a group. What did they have in common? Or was Britney Spears a separate situation? I bet you it was a separate situation. What's up, Roy Williams? How you doing? I kind of liked him, even though I don't like North Carolina very much. He seemed like a pretty good dude. I remember that. My wife was a field hockey player in college, so when the field hockey championships were on TV, we would watch it. And North Carolina was always really good, and whenever they would be playing North Carolina women's field hockey, he would be there and, like, cheering them on. They were just like, oh, Roy Williams is here. He's the head coach of the men's basketball team, and he's out here, you know. Dude, Chad just hit a 3. Seriously? And it didn't even touch the net. Like, I think that thing went through so perfectly that, like, the net wasn't affected. That was weird. It's like some black magic or something. Stefan said he had the Ronnie and Cadillac back-to-back poster. Ooh. I had a Doc Do in Demand. I didn't really have it up. I was a little older then, but I thought it was pretty cool. I think it was an offensive foul, but Denver feels hard done by. I get it, man. Chip says UConn playing for 7th place. E-A-D-D-D-D. Small victories. I thought he aired it too, man. It's just like literally like the net didn't move. And it wasn't even parabolic. What is BMAT? What's going on? Oh, that's a good one. There's another. That's a parabolic shot from the free throw line. That's going. That's Auburn's way. I guess I haven't updated these stats on, but we'll wait till the next time out. I can start talking about Cheryl Teagues and stuff. And also, Melee makes a good point. He wants to know if UConn, what time is UConn tipping tonight? Isn't it interesting how, like, this championship game is it? I mean, and I'm good. I'm good with a 4:00 start, believe me. But you're gonna have games after this that are like less significant than this championship game. Like, it's interesting how BP. One of the great things about him as a coach is that he's a master psychologist, and he'll talk to different players in different ways, you know? Like the way he talks to JP, you watched him right there, is fairly firm, but it's to the point, right? With somebody like Chaney, he's softer in his delivery. And for somebody like Simo and Chad and JP, he's tougher. And with Janai, he's almost like supportive. $53.71. I wonder if that's something he picked up from Dr. Tom Davis, who was a doctor, I believe, in education. Whale Driver says, I thought it was weird, too, talking about the scheduling. Are they going to let us celebrate after we win? And be like, hey, guys, congratulations on your win. Now get the fuck out because we got a 7th place game we got to play. Please, if you don't mind, please respect that. Like, what are they playing for, bro? Not shit. $53-71. We got 9 minutes to go here. Auburn's been in control of this game really since the outset because they got up 7 or 8 to nothing. Some tough-ass man-to-man defense right there. JP handled it pretty well, honestly. Oh, shit. Drop. Took a long time to get there, but when it did get there, it was a nice pass. Really nice pass. Number 4 is in trouble here. Chennai, I like that. It's fun seeing them have such a good time out there. Because the practices are not fun for them. BP, he gets after them pretty hard. And it's good to see them have fun in games, you know. A lot of times the kids will talk about how the games are easier than the practices. JP with a long 3. Still can't hit it. I don't really know what to think about him at this point, man. I think the bunker is going to really start giving him trouble as this continues. This lack of production continues to ossify. But I mean, he's fine in other ways. He's certainly not turnover prone, and I think he's getting a little more comfortable driving in the lane because in the first 2 or 3 games he didn't do that hardly at all. He's been a little more aggressive driving, and he's had a couple really nice assists from driving in the lane in this game. But yeah, he's got a ways to go to become the player that I thought they were getting. Yeah, we got to get some of these numbers updated. My brother-in-law just showed up. I can hear him downstairs. And I think he brought some bourbon with him because he came from Louisville. I think he got something called Old Senator that he was saying has been talked about much up there and was going to bring us a little something. And I am not familiar with that, but I'm always willing to get acquainted with a new bourbon. Because I am pro-bourbon. I'm running on the pro-bourbon ticket for president next time. Me and D's Nuts are going to run together. I don't have a lot of platforms, but pro-bourbon. P.J. Haggard is up to 25 points. Wow, he's had a game. Janai, 17 and 16. Good God. Still has the 6 assists. Auburn has 20 assists and 8 turnovers. Not bad at all. They have 4 assists and 10 turnovers. From an Auburn perspective, that's not bad at all. Points off turnovers, Auburn up. Auburn's +6. Second chance points, Auburn's +11. Fast break, they're +5, but Auburn will take that all day long. And points per possession, Auburn is still hanging in there, just a shade above 1.4, which is terrific. Auburn's on par for probably just going to score 90-something points in this game. I mean, sheesh. Other things that are standing out here, Chaney's just having kind of an ordinary game again. This hasn't been a great tournament for him, honestly. JP just kind of doing what he does. Tahad, 11 minutes, plus-minus of 0. He's been fine, I guess. Haven't really noticed him as much. Dylan's picked up here in the second half big time. 7-7 from the floor, 15 points. He's probably had, 3 alley-oop dunks? 4 assists and 1 turnover. He's having a fine game. Miles Kelly kind of disappeared, I guess. Chad with a 14-point on 5 of 6. You don't normally see that from him. A very, very efficient game. So, in general, yeah, Auburn's doing all the good things you want to see him. Tyrese Hunter has 6 points right now. And they're 4 of 6 from 3. So, Auburn is ticking all the boxes that it wanted to tick to be in this game right now. Yeah, Austin says those stats are looking pretty good. They really are, man. This is, if Burgomaster was kind of drawing this thing up with BP and saying, hey, man, what kind of things are we looking for, this is what it would look like right here. Let's see. Cassidy P wants to know who's our Steve Mazziello, the Human Victory cigar. My friend who worked with me at the student newspaper at UK called him a super scrub, which I thought was a terrible choice of words. And Mazziello did not like it either, wanted to fight him. I thought that might have been a little too much too. But I think a super sub would have been better. Human Victory cigar, also fair. Super scrub, maybe not. Anywho, I would never write that about somebody. And thanks to Hugh Null, I'll never say another team quit either, unless I know it for a fact, which I'm never going to know. Because I wrote it one time, and he didn't like it. He let me know. And that's fine.
The danger zone. This is your redheads, your strippers, anyone named Tiffany. This is where your car gets keyed, you get a bunny in the pot, your tires get slashed, and you wind up in jail.
Drop! Dylan with another dunk ski. He's 8 of 8 from the floor, guys. This is going to be one of the most efficient offensive performances in the history of Auburn basketball if he can get to 10 of 10. BP is going to be disgusted by some of these drives, though. He's going to think that they didn't put enough effort in to get in front of him, and he's going to say that when we face these fast guards like we did against North Alabama, like we did against Iowa State, just hasn't been enough guile, I guess, to get in front of him and slow him down, to stem the run. Auburn, I guess it would be Blake Mashalik would be the Human Victory cigar, maybe. Boy, JP's just a little bit out of control there. Probably Blake, I'd say, yeah. CJ Williams, maybe. Auburn is kind of taking their time here. I don't blame him. Oh, Chaney. They thought he was going to rotate to his right, but no. He went to his left. As the kids say, he's in his bag, guys. Yeah, he's in his bag with the Gophers. Yeah. Mitch JPAU says this team is special. He is absolutely right. This team's got all the pieces, man. Length, speed, depth, experience, shooting. Got a little bit of everything. Little bit of everything. A little bit of everything for the Tigers. Oh, my God. What an ambitious dunk. What was he going to do? Dunk over that whole guy's family? Well, Dylan just blew it. Now he's not going to have a perfect game from the floor. God dang it. That was my headline. That was my headline. You betcha. Yeah. Me and Anonymous going to go see the Gophers. Yeah, they're playing up in Mankato. I'll tell you, Mr. Lundegaard. Look at that nice free throw for him there. Somebody said that, I think it was CDF that was on the horn the other day and was like, man, Dylan's got to get in the gym and shoot. I'm like, I'm telling you guys, I go up there during the summer because I'm working on other stuff, and he's in the gym. That's not like a apocryphal story. Like, he literally sits in the gym by himself. He might have a student assistant with him or two to just shag balls and just shoots for like an hour, on a regular Tuesday in June. All right. I am very stoked because Stu Pup has just lightened my mood to tell me that the dunk did not count as a shot. And therefore, Dylan is still a perfect 8 of 8 from the floor with 18 points. He's leading his team in scoring. And he only has 2 fouls. The maturation of him has just been something else, man. I mean, he's always been, when I say maturation, everybody always thinks psychological. Not really. I mean, he's always like been a mature human being, but like the way his game has gotten better in specific ways, like you've got to be able to stay on the court and not foul out. And he's fucking figured out how to do it. Hey, my man was trying to do a scoop shot off the shot clock. So it's outside the box thinking is the way that I look at that. Yeah. I don't know what it means when you say you really want the undercoating, don't you know? Oh, that's a Fargo reference. Shit, my bad. You're absolutely right. Mr. Lundergaard. Yeah, small victories. I don't know, dude. It's a miracle that those shots go in ever. But he actually, in practice and stuff, he'll hit shots. I don't know how. I thought the same thing, Sean. I was surprised that they just let that go, but maybe they just feel bad for these guys, and they're just like, fuck it. Just give them a break. Just, let them miss a shot every now and then, not persecute them for it. Super chat coming through from Alamo Grad. He had one, Alamo Tiger Grad, had one right before our stream went dead in the first half. Nice little shot by Cheney. I'm going to give him a drop on that one. Drop! That was a lovely little delivery. A la the mailman Karl Malone. Alamo Tiger Grad says, unlike SEC refs, no real ticky-tack foul calls. Yeah, it's been decent today. I thought it was bad yesterday, and we had a little rash there where they got 2 drama queen fouls. They drew them, but I think it's been pretty fair today. I'm with you on that. Simo a little ambitious on that pass, too. Daniel D says, is this team Final Four or bust? I think among us, those of us who care enough to watch this game and really give a shit on a Wednesday afternoon before Thanksgiving, yes. To the rest of the world, no, I would say probably Elite 8. And if you didn't, that was a nice second effort by Denver to get that rebound and go back. I think that most neutral observers, like the guys in the field of 68, would probably say Elite 8. Because they're looking at this team and they're like, damn, they really are good. I mean, they're going through a murderer's row of opponents right now. There's another parabolic 3, dude. I'm telling you, they're the Rene Descartes of three-point shooting. Or maybe Thomas Boole. I don't know. Man, I'm just kind of crazy. I'm freaked out by those threes. They just don't seem like they should. Splash. That man has a family, dude. Or I should say he had a family. Good God. Janai with a two-handed flush that, was just embarrassing, man. Oh, my goodness. Guys, I don't know. After that Tahad finish, I don't think I could see anything better, but that might have been better. Certainly more of a facial. Oh, he's going to try to do it again. Oh, what is that little pirouette, man? Chandler Cox would love that shot. 86 points for Auburn. Still 2:31 to go. It is absolutely game on. This Memphis defense is getting absolutely... Well, there's another parabolic 3, guys. Every 3 that they shoot is just, so high in the air. Is that something Penny talks to him about? It's kind of a frenetic pace now. I liked it, though. Well, there's a foul. You've got a really late, a media timeout coming up here. So I'll go ahead and throw up some fresh, hot stats just for shits and gigs. We do have the finals coming up here pretty soon. I like that Janai with his tongue out. He's like, that was pretty much a facial right there, yeah. I need to get some more sound effects. I got a whole other stream deck I can add keys onto so we can get some more sound effects. It's only a game. Why do you have to be mad? Chris M says, I want to see some non-Euclidean threes. Oh, man. That's too loud. I'm sorry. That was still from the Danger Zone sound effect. Let's see. Auburn is 33 of 59. Let's see. Second half, 15 of 24, 63%. That's solid. That's pretty good. 2 of 7 from 3 doesn't really matter when you're shooting your twos that well. 7 of 9 from the free throw line, no problem. 22 assists on 33 buckets. That's a nice percentage. 22 and 8 assists to turnover is terrific. Memphis has 6 assists on 26 buckets. Holy shit. This is like what happened to North Alabama. They just couldn't pass. 6 assists and 11 turnovers is bad from Penny's perspective. They're shooting this half, 56% overall, 5 of 6 from 3. That's damn good. They're getting these parabolic threes. It's crazy. But the big numbers down here for me, points off turnovers, Auburn's +8. Fast break, Auburn is -5, but that's not been a factor for Memphis at all. And Auburn looks like they're going to finish this game above 1.4 points per possession, which is, I mean, you probably don't lose many games with that. I bet you if you looked at the games in which Auburn's cracked, we could just say 1.35 points per possession. I bet there's something like 95% win percentage. Looks like Bo Nix over there in the corner for Dayton. How about it? That's Ben Howland when he was playing like in the mid-90s there. Or I should say coaching in the mid-90s, you know what I mean. Let's see, Cassidy P wonders about Ace Bailey. One of my rare misses on the future casts. I thought he was coming here. He committed here. I got a text from 2 different basketball players that said, this kid just committed. I was like, oh my gosh. So I immediately race over and put down a future cast for him. And then he reneged on it and ended up going to Rutgers because he's got a family member on staff there. So that's the story right there. And there are other people who know what I'm talking about on that who can back me up. Other people you guys would know from the chat who know things. I asked questions the other day about Vanderbilt's 86 Maui Invitational winning team and who was on that team. I bet you that was Will Perdue. Justin C says, what percentage chance do you give us of winning at Cameron Indoor? I'd say that's about 50-50. Something like that. Normally, I would say that Duke would have a much better chance, but Auburn's playing some crazy basketball right now. It's just like, how long does this wave last, right? Like, not to say that it'll end or anything. It's just like you can't play at this level all the time. I know that. You know that. Bruce Pearl knows that. The American people know that. So, how long? Oh, look here. Austin notes that Jakai is out there. Who is he with? That's the question. Jakai number 3, he is out there. First time he's played since the first game. And Turtle's out there too, so they're going to have to play nice together, guys. So Jakai comes out to Maui and he gets a free trip plus 2 minutes. Now Memphis wants the offensive rebound. Okay. We got a minute left in this one. Auburn's definitely got this one in the bag. Oh, Jakai. I have to give him a drop on that. Drop. That was a nice little play. Didn't get quite enough height on that, which you'll probably never say about Jakai ever again in your life. But that was a nice little twist and spin in for the and one. That was pretty cool. I don't know. Ambitious Engineers fired up. What's up, brother? Good to see you here. Says, look at Jakai. Whale Driver thinks that the Duke game is going to be Auburn's first loss. You don't have a schedule like this and win them all. There's no way. What do you guys think of Auburn's basketball coach? You're pretty good. All right, there's Presley Patterson is in there. A young man who practices with the team all the time. He's a scout team guard and plays hard. I bet you Blake's probably out there with him at point guard. There he is, number 21. So you got, let's see, Tahad, Kai, Blake, Presley, and Turtle. Jakai, yikes. I was thinking get CJ in there, but Jakai's kind of taking the spot right now. Stoop Up, that game's still not for a little while. It ain't like tomorrow or the next day. Whale Driver's going to leave us in suspense and wonder who's the player of the tournament. I have no idea who it could possibly be. I wonder if a triple-double in every half he played in is enough. I don't know. Ambitious Engineer, what's up, G? So glad to see you here. Says, thanks for doing the basketball drains, Jay. Happy Thanksgiving, my man. I'm going to give you an applause for that. Hope you, look at that. Fans are fired up. Look at this. Oh, Dylan is getting ready to go. Oh, Dylan doing a little something here. Oh, he's mugging for the camera. Ian's Borders is like, what are we doing? He gets a kick out of that. I want to see Ian dance like that. That's what I want to see. Ian's the guy sitting next to Dylan there. All right, Jakai going to the line. Putting the finishing touches on this blowout win. A Small Victory says, Dylan is the man. He sure is an entertaining guy to be around. Just a bunch of positive energy and just a real plus. He's also become a really valuable basketball player, too, which is the great thing. He used to just be like kind of entertaining as a person and not a great basketball player, but now he's both. Oh, they're calling these ticky-tack fouls, bro. You can't punch a man in the face like you used to be able to, you know? Small Time Republic says you can't spell Maui without AU. I love it. You should be on the you should be like a consultant for the Maui Invitational. Get some marketing money on that. Austin M jumping in with a super chat says 3 wins and 3 drains in 3 days. Dial 3. Phone me. 3333333. You're a legend, JG. Thank you. No, Austin, you're a legend, bro. Thanks for being on the show. Because if you guys aren't on the show, then I don't have anybody. It's just me talking to a wall, which is kind of like me on a regular Tuesday. It's like me today when I was writing my scouting report on the Alabama Crimson Tide, getting ready for a publication on Friday morning. They have some weird inconsistencies on defense, I'll tell you that. All right, so 76-90 is going to be your finale score on that one. 90-76, the Auburn Tigers. Wow. A tour de force in this tournament. 3 wins, a very close one over Iowa State, who I really think is an outstanding ball club. And then 2 just, comprehensive dismantlings of former Blue Bloods. Well, I don't know about Connecticut. Definitely North Carolina, former Blue Blood, and then Memphis, which is, and they're a solid program. They have some history. They had some great years with Penny, and then maybe a little bit before that too. But they've just kind of been. Oh, I guess with D Rose, they were pretty good then too. Forgot about that. Oh, there it is. Hang it in the Louvre. 90-76. Kind of working our way through. Let's see. Abby Laker. Oh, hold on. Terrence says, JGT, you need to continue to do drains until Auburn basketball loses. I may have to. I feel like we, as a community, should take some credit. I mean, hey, listen, I know we're not the ones putting the ball in the basket, but I think we should give some credit to us for keeping this thing going. And Matthew R. says, let's go get that pineapple of gold. Well, that may be true, but.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
Bobby Laker says tickets are going to be next to impossible in SEC play. They are. I mean, yeah, it's only a 9,900-seat stadium or gym or what do you want to call it. Bill Miner asked drink of choice on Turkey Day, Jay. You guys know the answer to this question. The answer is bourbon, and preferably a bourbon I have not had. I think my brother-in-law is going to bring a bottle I haven't had called Old Senator, I believe it's called. We're going to find out and see how that goes. I've just been, I've been on a health kick for like the last 7 weeks. Got some, I wouldn't necessarily say bad news at my doctor's office. I just got a stern talking to, and he was like, bro, it's time, you know. At 52, he's like, it's time for you to do some shit to get yourself right. And so I've been doing it and lost some weight, been drinking a little bit less, drinking a lot less, and, just doing that thing. Sometimes you got to tighten the belt, so to speak, metaphorically. Stu Pup says, Auburn's blood so blue. It's navy. I absolutely love that idea, and here's what I have to say about that.
You could drop a tarantula into his shorts and he'll still be cool.
Talking about the whole team on that one. Kay says, Auburn might not get to a bowl game, but we won the Pineapple Bowl. Damn right. Just don't try the Pineapple Bowl on a cruise, guys, because sometimes you get yourself into trouble. Chip says, Old Senator sounds like it would taste like a leather shoe. Hope it's better than that. Poppy Clan, my man, is here, and he says, love these Tigers. Hell yeah, you do. To be fair, you love the Tigers even when they don't win, but because I know you and I know what you're about, but I know you love them a special amount when they win these games. Let's kind of work through a little bit, maybe some report cards here. Denver Jones, probably give him a B-ish today. Decent distribution, brought spirit to the floor, good defense on the ball, 11 points on 3 of 9 shooting is just okay, but 2 assists, no turnovers in 31 minutes, and again, played great defense. I'd give him a B. Janai, A+, not even going to get into that. Chad Bacon, Lasagna, 5 of 6, 14 points. 5 assists is great. 3 turnovers is not great, but otherwise combative, playful, energetic. I give him a B+. Miles Kelly, wasn't really a factor today. I give him a C. Dylan for me is an A. 8 of 8 and 18 points. That's probably going to be one of his 3 or 4 best games of the year on the attacking end. 3 boards is a little light for him considering what all he... Look at this. Patrick D jumps in with a Patrick D style super chat. My goodness gracious. I called Oates and asked him to issue a code red on the refs. Worst officiating I have ever seen. Give him an applause for that one. Thank you, Patrick D. Also known as Why Not AU, both on the bunker and here sometimes. Wow. Appreciate that, brother. He's been here the whole week. He drops a Patrick D chat every game. Ephesians, what's up, brother? He was big in the Iowa State game. He said, sorry I couldn't be here last night and today had to take the daughter to see a movie. That's a great thing to do instead of watch the game, honestly. Thank you again for everything, brother War Eagle. I remember when my daughter was small and we would go see movies together during the day, and those are great times, bro. Those are great times that you got to cherish. There are going to be a lot more Auburn basketball games and not many more days to hang out with your daughter when she's really young, if you know what I mean, because they grow up fast. Thank you, Patrick D., for jumping in here, and please feel free to offer your thoughts on some of these report card choices. Dylan, again, for me, I give it an A. Little light on the rebounding at 3, but 6 assists for him is terrific, and 1 turnover is great too. So it's an A day for me. Tahad was probably like a B or B+. Now, let's give him a B. He was kind of an auger. Had the greatest shot I've seen all year. Incredible finish. Dr. J-esque. 1 assist, 1 turnover, 6 points, 13 minutes. Wasn't asked to do a lot. Didn't necessarily do a lot. I'd give him a C on that. JP, probably a C-. I don't really want to give him too much trouble. Jakai didn't play enough. Simo, incomplete. And Turtle, Presley, Blake Michalek, and we're just in at the very end. Chaney, interesting case there, right? Chaney, coming into this tournament, I thought was the best choice to tandem with Janai because they just seem to have a better chemistry with the 2 guys in the post. But I feel like Dylan and Janai started to kind of understand each other a little bit better, particularly on the scoring end, but also on the defensive end. And so now I don't know, like maybe what Chaney was today is what Chaney's really actually going to be, which is the 3rd guy in the relationship, the post relationship, rather than the 2nd guy in the relationship. I don't know. I like what he brought though. Had a couple of really nice turnarounds. Had some nice work in transition. 9 points on 4 of 7 shooting. They'll take that all day long. 2 rebounds is a little light for him in 19 minutes, but I don't know. I'd probably give him a B or a B+. Desperado says, just had a friend die of cirrhosis of the liver. Ouch. So if you drink, please don't drink too much. Good advice. For sure. Feel like a stranger. Says, what about them Auburn Tigers? My Memphis homies are in awe of our squad. Yeah, they got absolutely just summarily dispatched today. A tremendous performance from Auburn again. I mean, you think, well, the Iowa State game, not a tremendous performance because they won at the last second, but I would argue that Iowa State was the most frothy team in the tournament besides Auburn, and you just had to go toe-to-toe with those guys and find a way to win the game, which they did. I was impressed with Iowa State, and I think they're the best team Auburn's played. And they may end up being the best team Auburn's played until the Duke or the Tennessee game. I don't know. Those two teams are really good. So, I don't know. I thought it was 3 really strong performances. And, again, I talked about this yesterday. I don't want to harp on it, but we're going to be doing this 30 times this season. There's a reason that this team kicks ass, and it's because they got a little bit of everything, and most importantly for me is they're experienced. They've been with BP a while, and so when you coach them, when you give them a scouting report, when you go through certain plays that you're going to use to undermine the other team, they can execute it. They understand. They can kind of understand what the defensive concept is in the context of what Auburn believes in overall defensively and offensively. You can't do that with freshmen. A lot of times you can't do that with sophomores, but you can certainly do it with 4th and 5th year and in some cases 6th year seniors. They just get it, and they understand where you're coming from. And when you change paradigms from day to day, which they didn't necessarily do today, but Iowa State to North Carolina was a completely different defensive paradigm. They can make the adjustment, and that's why I think this team has a chance to absolutely whoop ass in the tournament, because that's what you got to do in the NCAAs. You've got to be able to really take advantage of the matchups and not fall victim to all we can do is what we do, and that's it. That's not the team that wins the title. Runner 24 says not to nitpick, or to nitpick rather. I need to shoot better from 3. I agree with that. 8 of 24 is not atrocious, but it's not great either. You'd like to see Auburn certainly on the other side of 36, something like that. And that was an issue last year in stretches for sure. Auburn was low on three-point shooting all year last year. I don't think they will be this year because Miles is actually a good three-point shooter. Tahad has been better than I thought he would be. He's about 40%. And then obviously you've got Chad, who's I don't know how he gets the balls in. It doesn't make any sense, but he does. So yeah, they're gonna have to be better in conference play, I think, to win consistently. Puppy Clan says, Jay, you said early on that this team was Final Four or bust. You were right. This is a legit team. They are. They're frothy. They're experienced. They've got a little bit of everything. And I think Daniel was asking me earlier, Daniel D, is it truly Final Four or bust? For us, I think it is, because we've been watching this team every single minute, and we know, in a sense, we've kind of paid the dues, right, of being disappointed. Losing the Yale game last year was just a wet fart after a tremendous season that we thought was going to result in a great run, And now you're like, okay, they got pretty much the entire band back, minus Aiden Holloway, and Trey, which is kind of addition by subtraction in a way, because I think we would all take Tahad over those guys, no matter how we felt about Trey and Aiden. So, yeah, for us it's Final Four bust. I think for regular people it's probably Elite Eight or bust. Cassidy P is 100% on. He says NCAA tournament exposes those who haven't been tested. We are being tested and passing those tests. It's a completely different way to look at things than football. Cassidy P knows that, and I think the bulk of the people in this chat know that because you're the basketball people. But you can lose games in basketball. I think Villanova won a title maybe 8-9 years ago, and they lost like 8, 9, 10 games for the reasons Cassidy P's talking about, and that's why the smart Auburn fans, basketball fans, understand they're going to lose some of these games, and it doesn't matter. It's fine. When you lose, you just understand why you lost so that you can come back next time and not do that. And when you've got a team experienced like this, they're going to understand how to apply the lessons learned in losses, and they're going to be losses. We know that, and that's fine. It's a completely different thing. You lose 2 games in football, you're fucked, right? You lose 2 or 3 games in basketball, and you're probably better off for it, honestly. Because you remember that Wichita State team maybe 6-7 years ago that was undefeated, had Van Vliet as their point guard. Like, they went too long going undefeated, and so they go in the tournament, and Kentucky gets them all kind of askew, and they've never been in that situation before, and they shit the bed and lost. You don't want to be like that. Don't be like that. Daniel P says, hear me out. What if we just choose to never lose? All right. Fine, Daniel. If you would like to do that. If you just want to push for undefeated, that's fine. There's always one, guys. That's what my mom used to say, but she was saying it about me. So it wasn't funny and friendly. Let's see what else we got. We can definitely go through the Ken Palm. Let's see if those have updated. Updatos. See, I know my Spanish. Auburn still firmly number one, as they should be, after Gonzaga lost. Ken Palm loves Gonzaga for reasons that I don't fully understand. We'll figure it out someday. There'll be some kind of a study released, hopefully by the New York Times or maybe Roops to Go. These are the current, as of minutes ago, Ken Palm ratings. I'm going to enlarge this so you can see it a little bit better there. Cleveland Brown, my man, with a super chat, says, love that we won. I was hoping we would face UConn. But they can have the last place game. Laugh, haha, hashtag swag surfing, my man. Great stuff, Cleveland Brown. I would like to have seen Dan Hurley lose, too. Well, let me rephrase that, because we had plenty of chances to see him lose. Lose to Auburn. That's my favorite way to see him lose, is to the team that I know about. This is a pretty good look at, the best teams in the country right here. Barring Marquette, I don't know much about them, but Kansas, Alabama, Iowa State, Gonzaga, Duke, Houston, Tennessee, and Auburn, to me, are the cream of the crop. Kentucky's still TBA. They did find a way to beat Duke maybe a week or two ago, which I thought was a big win for them. It's just weird that Mark Pope's the coach. I covered him. Oh, my goodness. I don't know about Pitt unless Jerome Lane's there. And then North Carolina, to me, they're a step below, but they're just going to play games with their transition defense, transition attack, too. And they're going to get people sped up, and they're going to wreck shit against teams that can't do that. But Jay can. I'm sorry. Auburn can. I was reading Poppy Clan's. That's why I said my own name. Poppy Clan says, Jay, thanks for the fourth drain in 5 days. Is that accurate? It is indeed. Saturday for the football game, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Amazing. And then we're going to have one on this Saturday. Obviously, we're going to do an Iron Bowl drain. Probably ought to be drinking on that day. After watching film and doing my scouting report on Alabama's defense, they are good. But they're not as good as I thought they would be, honestly. And they're a step down from what they've been, for sure. You can tell that this is not a Saban defense. And Kane Womack, who's the new defensive coordinator there, I mean, it's not poorly run or anything, but they just they don't pop. And what specifically, and again, I know I'm talking about football here just for a minute, but the run defense is I'm not even sure it's average. It's a little bit below average. So I think Auburn can do some damage in this game. You asked me a month ago, I'd have said, nah, they're going to lose that game. But now I'm kind of talking myself into thinking they're going to win, but I don't know. You just don't know how Alabama's going to take that. They got absolutely just demolished at Oklahoma last week, so we'll see how that goes. Hate to be taken away from basketball to talk football, but it is what it is. JBDC Elite, my man, this guy, what an absolute stud. I'm going to be seeing him soon. He says, Auburn is the best team I've watched. They are deep, talented, and play extremely hard. Tennessee is right there. Kansas is really good, too. But I'd favor Auburn right now on a neutral. JBDC Elite, word on the street is that he's a UK fan. And so for him to be giving Auburn compliments is nice. Got a little surprise for you, JBDC Elite. I'll tell you when you get here. I think you'll be able to see it Friday. A little secret. And I might be willing to go back on our bet as a result. That's all I'm going to say about that. I won't say another word. Let's see. Pocket Watch is doing the math. That's why we like Pocket Watch. He does the math. He says our Ken Palm rating is 1.49 points ahead of number 2 UT Knoxville. That is an interesting notation, sir. Whale Driver says, I think we gave Bama something to play for by running our mouths. Well, really, it was one mouth. Hope I'm wrong. I mean, listen, dude, I respect DeMarcus. He's like, I know Ryan Williams, and I don't think he's like some superstar, you know? He's a dude that I've played against and I know, and he's a good player, but I'd like to kick his ass. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. If Alabama was going to suck up the Iron Bowl and instead they decide they're going to fight because a freshman linebacker from Clanton, Alabama said that he didn't think Ryan Williams was the greatest player ever, like if that's what it takes, so be it. But it ought to be the games ought to mean more to you than that. It's just my thought. But considering the fact that Alabama's lost 3 SEC games this year, maybe not. There he is. JBDC Elite says, packing soon. I'm intrigued. Happy Tatesgiving, y'all. Hey now. Can't wait to see y'all here. And I've already texted Ian and, your kids. Pretty fired up about it. Everybody here's fired up about it too. We're going to get it started tonight, though. And so that's the way it's warmed up for when you show up, G. What else we got to do? What else we got on the docket here? 3 wins in 3 days. Not bad. Actually, that'd be 4 wins in 5 days. Not bad. Poppy Clan. $1 to you for noting that. Whale Driver said he also said he won't ever lose to Bama. He also said he doesn't lose, would never lose games to his rivals. And then, of course, Auburn lost to Georgia earlier this year. And he played in that game, so I don't really know what was going on. Let's see. Desperado says, JG, Ken Palm is now updated for Auburn's data. Okay, let's see. So 31-41. Oh, it is updated. How about that? Look at that. Fresh. I was out of date. I was literally like 2 minutes behind the curve. How about it? All right, so we've got updated numbers. Desperado. Courtesy of Desperado, we should say. There we go, Pocket Watch. You're going to have to get the calculator out for this one again to figure out the gulf, the delta, as the kids say, between Auburn and UTK. But it looks maybe just a little bit deeper, that divide. The standard deviation on those points is probably about 1.1, maybe less, maybe 0.9. Poppy Clan says J equals legend. Have a great night, bro. You too. And have a great night day tomorrow for Thanksgiving and all that kind of stuff. Cass DP says, JGD, how do we fare in the remaining non-con? It reminds me of rom-con. It makes me think of Janine Garofalo. Appreciate your thoughts. It'd be my pleasure. Let's take a look. I can probably screenshot that, couldn't I? Hell yeah, I can. Where's my intern? Guys, can we please screenshot this? We're doing it for Casa DP. All right, here we go. This is the Ken Palm for Auburn's schedule coming up. Yeah, let's just go. I mean, Ken Palm's obviously very bullish on Auburn's chances here. I do think Auburn loses at Duke, which is not any big problem. Ohio State is going to be in Atlanta. Purdue is going to be in Birmingham. And then you get into SEC play pretty quickly. You don't play Tennessee for the 5th or 6th game, so interesting. Mississippi State, I didn't know they were that good. Yeah, one of those 2 Big Ten games I think will end up being a problem. It's probably going to be Ohio State just because Purdue's missing a really important player, and they will be. So my thought is you lose 2 before conference. That would be the Duke game and let's say the Ohio State game. But, it's listed as a neutral game in Atlanta, but, I mean, Casa DP and many of our other brain drain and bunker stalwarts are from the greater Atlanta area, so there's going to be some vociferous support there for the Auburn Tigers, no doubt. So I would say that's going to be semi-home as well. So maybe it's just 1. I think if they beat Ohio State, it'll be just 1. I do think Auburn loses at Duke, and if they don't, that's when the national writers are going to show up on campus and start doing, takeouts with BP and All in the Family, the feature with Bruce and Stephen Pearl, doing that whole thing. Look at that. Pocket Watch says, oh no, I was ahead of you, G. I was going with the updated numbers. Look at that. Guys, does Pocket Watch know how to party or what, man? I'm telling you. Ever to Conquer says, this basketball team is a lot of fun to watch. Looking forward to a great season. Word amigo, everybody, my man. Thanks for being here, bro. Are you the same E2C that we were talking about last night as far as the podcast? And it's okay if you're not. I know Ever to Conquer is also like an Auburn reference too. Runner 24, one of our favorite people on the East Coast. And an absolute stud says, happy Thanksgiving, and smash those likes. How many do we have? 34? We had like 5,000 people on here earlier. We had 34 likes. Terrible. Guess people are getting a little, maybe they're a little achy in their tum-tum because I know they got to keep it light for tomorrow, right? As we feast upon that delicious turkey or whatever meat you would like. Plus all those delicious sides, my wife's stuffing/dressing. And I'm going to get some cranberry sauce because I made her go get it, even though she hates it and thinks it's terrible. Well, I guess we've said it all, man. I mean, 90-76, they win the Maui Invitational. Some great coaching, some great playing. The team is a menace to everyone. Yes, birds too. Everything in the sky, including birds. And, yeah, I will probably see you guys, Lord willing, on Saturday afternoon with a house full of people. Okay, Everett 2 Congress says, no, that's not me. That dude's cool, though. I made that handle after the 2010 season. I understand it's an Auburn handle. It's a good Auburn handle. I like that. So, good stuff, man. Glad to have you here hanging out. Let's see. Desperado says, how much of a factor do you think Chakai will be the rest of the way? He seems pretty talented. He is insanely talented. And he was more skilled. I mean, that first game, he showed some real polish. And in some of the scrimmages I've watched, I can't talk about practice, of course, but he's more skilled than I thought he would be. So I think he can be a factor, but yeah, I kind of alluded to this before. He's got to get his emotions under control, and I think the situation on the flight is indicative of some of the things that need to get worked on. But look, man, he's a freshman in college. I was by no means a finished product as a freshman in college. I know a lot of you guys would agree with me on that about your own lives and your own paths. Some of you guys were, many of you guys weren't. I was not. I was a rambunctious and hell-raising fraternity guy at the time and made some decisions, that I probably wouldn't make now. Fortunately, I never got arrested. Let me rephrase that. I never got charged. T-Roy Tiger jumps in. My man, thank you for your service these last 3 days, Commodore. Still processing how freaking good this team looks. Happy Thanksgiving, bro. To you and your outstanding wife and your whole family. Happy Thanksgiving. My man. And looking forward to seeing you again, partying with you. I know J-Dub is looking forward to partying with you. There's no doubt about it. I think he told me that you came by the tailgate. That's a missed opportunity by me. I wish I could have hit that. Wyndham says, love this team, but are we peaking too early? It's a fair question, but I think it's going to be peaks and valleys along the way, bro. I don't think this team's like, if this is a peak, and I mean, honestly, this has definitely got to be a nadir, right? I mean, without a doubt. I mean, you can't really play better than this, I mean, like, they're number one in the country, and they just summarily dispatched North Carolina and Memphis and put Iowa State down, who's a very good team, and beat Houston. I mean, guys, come on. This is an epic run by Auburn right now. They're probably going to lose some steam from this, but the key is, as long as you're good when it's time to be good, it don't matter, right? So, yeah. Desperado says, hit the like button before you leave. It helps Jay's channel. It does to some degree. But really, at this point, this channel is just kind of an organic expression of you guys hanging out with me and me hanging out with y'all, and we just have fun on Saturdays and game days, whatever, Melee says, we're on a tight sine wave, no peaks. That guy Mass right there. That guy Mass. I love it. T-Roy says, tailgate 20 yards away. I always check for J-Dub. Hey, man. Good to see you, brother. Man, I usually get to go to one tailgate a year, but now it's gotten to be where it's like one tailgate every other year. But I always like to go, and obviously their tailgate's always fun. Everybody's in a great mood. Troy's a great place to tailgate at, actually, because I just have a great time up there. I don't get to tailgate at Auburn just because of the way, I'm always on the air when we're doing Auburn games. But for Troy, when they play in the middle of the week, I get to tailgate up there, and it's always a good time. Good folks. Good folks, man. Good folks. All right, so bottom line is Auburn basketball kicks ass. We know that, and they probably have more ass to kick in the coming days and weeks. Even though Wyndham wants to see it, he's just a little concerned. And it's fair. It's fair. It's completely fair. Are they peaking too early? But I think they're going to be just fine. So we will do the Iron Bowl Saturday. We'll be on the air about 2:15-ish Central Time. And we'll just go the distance on that one, take some calls after that, and hopefully celebrate an Auburn win. That'd be fine. That would be terrific, actually. And I think there's a chance it could happen. I think that Auburn, if they can run the football against Alabama, and Jarquez can kind of do his thing and run those people over, yeah, they got a shot. And that would be really sweet. All right, so we'll wrap it up there, guys. Appreciate y'all being with me. 3 streams in 3 days, and a lot of you guys have gone the wire to wire on these shows, and I appreciate y'all so much for being part of the crew. So we will see you guys then. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys have a great time. Drink responsibly. That goes for me, too. And we will see you on Saturday. Peace and love. Let's get it.